Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, December 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels, ooh, goodness, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At the bottom, we have the world, which is, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is showing us tremendous change coming forward. And we have judgment. We have rising out of darkness and really rising into ourselves. So everything is changing for us as we're finding our voice, as we're moving ourselves forward. We have the Knight of Swords, which is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is going to come through very powerfully, especially if we have air sign energy within our natal chart or within our lives. We're going to see them very powerfully affecting our inner selves. We have the Queen of Wands, that's us. We're represented by the Wands in the minor arcana, by Temperance in the major arcana. We're coming through as a queen, we're coming through as powerful, as decisive, and determined. We then have our emotional self. We have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, amplified by the Queen of Wands, because Aries is also a fire sign. So Aries comes through here at our heart. If we have Aries in our lives or in our natal chart, they'll be affecting us emotionally, and that part of our personality will come out in a much more emotional way. Then we have the Knight of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, or again, we have water sign energy within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully at our heart. We're also guardians of our heart. If we have water sign energies in our lives, they're going to affect us more emotionally. We can actually find them getting on our nerves a bit, so be prepared for that. Then we have the Six of Swords. We're gathering up our knowledge, we're gathering up our information, and we're moving forward. Our angels are guiding us, so we don't need to worry quite as much. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we're born on the cusp of Capricorn, or if we have Capricorn, again, within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully in the public arena. We're actually going to be really good with progressing ourselves forward and aligning ourselves in this waking world in the position that we want to be in. We have the Five of Pentacles, which doesn't go at all with the Queen of Pentacles. There is a sense here of this is a poverty mentality. There is a sense here in the waking world where it's like it's a bit of a struggle. Either we're fighting with old memories of money, a sense of lack, a sense of, hurt, pain, and disappointment around finances or around what we want to be prosperous in within our lives. We're going to have that coming up, and we're also going to have like the flip side of that coming up, which is the sense of prosperity and success and bounty and abundance. And we're going to have days where we feel like we absolutely rock it, or even hours where we feel like we're on top of the world. And then there's just going to be this shift, and we're really doubting ourselves and our capabilities and our progression and our progress forward. So just be aware of that sometimes it can feel like we're on this merry-go-round, which, well, actually on not a Ferris wheel, a roller coaster. There we go. Which is what the Wheel of Fortune is telling us here at our root, that we have these highs, these lows, and everything seems to be happening so fast. Now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is Aquarius energy, the star. And this is a sense of wishes. This is other people's wishes. We can really sacrifice ourselves for what other people want and need and desire within their lives, but we can also lose sight of what we need to do in the now for what we wish for in the future, or what we wish for in the now and sacrifice the future. Whichever way it's going to be, we have to just be mindful of it. We have to be mindful of this energy here as we're moving forward. Dreams can become a bit more real than reality, so be aware of that during this time. We then have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And we have balance. This is the root chakra, and we're coming into balance with the sacred masculine side of ourselves and the sacred feminine. We're coming into balance with the way that we want to move forward, with how we perceive ourselves in the waking world and how we perceive ourselves in the slumbering world. The conscious and the subconscious really start to come together. And we're going to see ourselves moving forward in very much a different way, very much aware of the balance within us or the lack of balance within us. If we feel like something is off put during this time or off balance, we're going to need to center ourselves, and we're going to need to call into our strength and our desires, what we want from our lives and how we're progressing forward. This is going to be a time where we put the brakes on things. We really do. And we come back into ourselves fully, openly, honestly, and with great tenacity. All right, so let's talk about the astrological aspect of this time. On December 1st, we have Neptune going direct, which means that it comes out of retrograde. And this draws to a close a time of spiritual and psychological transformation, which has brought us into greater contact with hidden spiritual gifts that we have and hidden spiritual desires. We're starting to come back to our spiritual center and really starting to see that more. So that's really powerful. On the 4th of December, we have Mercury opposite Lilith. Now, with Mercury opposite Lilith, there's miscommunication and just a sense of frustration and misfortune because everybody's trying to do their own thing, kind of in their own head. Everybody feels unseen and unheard, which makes for a very frustrating time. Everybody feels like the martyr. Everybody feels like I'm doing and doing and doing, and yet nobody is seeing what I'm putting in to the situation. So that's going to be something that we have to be aware of, especially for ourselves, that we're going to feel unseen, unheard, and we are going to need to center ourselves with honesty and just a sense of justice to ourselves, into our center, and not let other people define us on this day. It'll be so easy to take other people's descriptions of us and just make it our own. And this is a day where we need to be describing and we need to be defining ourselves. Also on the 4th of December, we have the new moon and the solar eclipse, which will be gone over in a separate video. On the 6th of December, we have Mars sextile Pluto. Now, Mars comes through very strongly here because of the Emperor. That's going to be amplified. We're going to feel the effects of Mars more emotionally than anywhere else. So just be aware of that. And it can make us a bit hot-tempered. Added to our already Sagittarius fire sign energy, this can make us a force to be reckoned with. So it can really help us progress forward, but it can also be that we look back at things and we think, maybe I should have thought that through, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. So just be aware of this intensity to us during this time. Now, with Mars sextile Pluto on the 6th of December, this is a tremendously driven and determined time. It makes us capable of achieving our goals. It makes us almost feel unstoppable. But what it also does is it makes us really bad followers. We want to lead. And the fact of the matter is, everybody wants to be the leader on this day. Everybody thinks they have the best idea. Everybody believes that if they just explain it well enough, show us clearly enough, we'll be able to get on board with them and do exactly what it is that they are doing. And that's going to be really frustrating because we're all going to have the sense of, let me just explain it better, let me just show you more kind of mentality, and nobody's going to want to hear it because everybody's in their own little world this day. So just remember this, because it will save us a lot of frustration if we embrace our power and our confidence, but we also understand that nothing is going to be perfect and that there's more than one way of seeing things. Now, on the 7th of December, we have Mercury squared Neptune. Now, with Mercury squared Neptune, this is a time when walking in the normal world almost seems off. It almost seems wrong. And that's going to be something that we are going to be very much pulled into because of the star energy to be mindful of. We're going to be very drawn to our dreams. We're going to be very drawn to our wishes. And so on the 7th of December, don't plan anything too big or too complicated, because this is going to be a day where it's kind of made for dreaming. It's made for discovering. It's made for, pulling back layers of insight and ideas, and it's really made for us to connect spiritually and creatively with what we want in life. This is also a terrible time for communication. Everything kind of gets jumbled because everybody's so much in their own head. Now, on the 8th of December, we have Mars squared Jupiter. Now, this is going to be important because Sagittarius, we're ruled by Jupiter, and we have the Mars energy from Aries here at our heart. So this hits us doubly hard. This alignment is positive, it is creative, it is energetic, and it makes us enthusiastic, strong, courageous, and sensual. We are really coming into our strength on this day. We need to make sure that we are aligned with ourselves and our own energy, because this kind of energy can become larger than life. We can have a tendency to really burn bright on this day. So just be aware of this. We need a creative or a physical outlet to foster some of this energy through, or else we're going to feel scattered, we're going to feel burnt out. It's almost going to feel jittery, like we drink too much coffee, and we just need to center into ourselves. So be aware of that. On the 11th of December, we have a few things happening. We have Mercury sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a time of questioning and curiosity because we're ruled by Jupiter. This is going to feel very much at home for us with the questioning, the curiosity, the looking deeper into everything. We have tremendously open minds, and we come from a non-judgmental space, which is really, really nice. We are acquiring knowledge, and we'll be using it, and we'll be seeing different ways of incorporating it into our existence. This is a time for travel because Mercury rules short trips and Jupiter rules long trips, so we need to explore and we need to question. Also, on the 11th of December, we have Venus conjunct Pluto. Now, this brings love and karmic love to the forefront of our day. We're going to very much need to be aware of our hearts, listening to our hearts, and also our heart chakras, as turmoil and undealt with scars come to the surface and have a tendency to knock us off our game. So this is a fantastic day to dive deeper into ourselves. Our natural curiosity from Mars sextile Jupiter really helps us embrace our own hearts and really amplifies the beauty and the sensuality of Venus conjunct Pluto. So that's going to be really nice. On the 12th of December, we have the Sun squared Neptune. Now, we're being forced to see and call out our own weaknesses. And when we won't stand up for ourselves, when we just kind of let ourselves fall, or don't trust in our own voice, this is going to be a day where we find our voice, even though we might be shaking on the inside, even though we might just feel completely overwhelmed or really be doubting ourselves. There's going to be like a solidification of our spine, like the sense of I am able to move forward, I am able to go after what I want and what I desire in my life. We are astoundingly sensitive on this day, so just be aware of that we will take things to heart, but we also need to be able to be sensitive and self-caring for ourselves, really embracing self-love and not taking everything too personally, because that could really lead us to be wounded. On the 13th of December, we have Mercury entering into Capricorn. Now, this makes us astoundingly methodical in our thinking and the way that we perceive the world. We're going to want everything to be black and white. We're going to want it to be easily spelled out. We're going to want spreadsheets. We're going to want things clearly printed. We're going to want the world to be in order. And it's just going to be frustrating because the world is not in order. So what we're going to have here is a time where it feels a little bit hard or a little bit disjointed to laugh, to joke, to really embrace something that isn't serious. And we need to make sure that we do this on this day. We need to make sure that we laugh, that we connect. We need to step back because we're going to have a tendency to micromanage. Everybody's going to have a tendency to micromanage on this day. We need to listen to our hearts and not judge as we move forward. There's also going to be a need for speaking kindly and compassionately because everybody's going to forget that. Everybody's just going to be so focused on getting the job done, so much in their own world and their own progress forward that it's going to be a bit overwhelming. On the 13th of December, Mars enters into Sagittarius, which is fantastic for us, also hits us rather hard because we have the Mars energy amplified here with the Aries energy. So this brings a maddening duality. There's the fun-loving side of both these signs, of both these alignments. And what we're going to have here is also the highly aggressive side that comes out, the fire that just burns so brightly. If we're not cautious, this can just completely consume us. This can be a day where we have a short temper, where we see everything as an aggression or a microaggression, where we're looking almost, looking for something to be wrong. So just be aware of this. If we feel this day, this might be a day to kind of quietly work by yourself or even call out if you can, because I'm not recommending that, but still, like, things can just be so intense and we can be so focused on organizing everything because of the Mercury entering into Capricorn that we're not going to give ourselves a break. But if we can have a physical or spiritual outlet, if we can have a creative outlet, if we can really stand within ourselves and understand that this fire within us can be honed to be absolutely creative, absolutely passionate, absolutely powerful, and not overwhelming, that's going to be one of the best things for us. And then that will turn this into a tremendous blessing of a day instead of a day where we're really lacking follow through. We start 500,000 things, we don't finish anything, we feel scattered, we feel overwhelmed. So just be aware of that. Now, on the 14th of December, we have Mars opposite the North Node. Again, Mars is amplified because of the Aries energy here, and this is a time when the intensity of Mars needs to be tempered by the curious peace of the North Node. Mars has us looking for action and doing, while the North Node brings to the surface this motivation for understanding our karmic debt and our spiritual growth. It can be amazingly powerful and peaceful this time, where we learn to balance listening and doing, where we learn to balance watching and understanding, but we're going to start to see the duality in everything, and that's just going to calm us. It's going to be very centering. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune here at our root. We have this sense of everything changing, everything turning around. We're seeing ourselves more clearly, but we're also going to be really aware of how we handle ourselves in certain situations, the way that we move forward, the way that we're not moving forward, what we want to do, what we don't want to do. And we're really starting to get an idea and a sense of ourselves. As we do this, as we see this, we're going to see that everything is changing. We can feel it within ourselves that we're standing on the precipice of something big. And as we're standing on this precipice, as we're starting to really understand the way that we want to move forward in our lives, we're starting to see the way that we are changing, the way that we are growing. And this has us looking at the box that we once put ourselves in, the box that we felt put in by society or the rest of the world, or even by our parents, our guardians, whoever was a part of our lives, or even our partners. And we're starting to say, why? Why do I have to be like this? Why do I have to do this? I need to step into me. I need to step into my passion. I need to step into my fire. I need to step into my understanding. And as I do this, I become more and more myself. This is a birth through fire. So it's not going to be, all roses and sunshine. It's going to be intense. It can be overwhelming. But this intensity and this overwhelming sense of I need me is going to trump everything. It's going to rule so much during this time. And it leads us to being the white knights of our own stories, the heroes of our own tales. So with the Knight of Swords, this is the sense of I'm slaying the dragons and the demons that have held me back, that have hoarded away my gifts. I'm not speaking negatively over myself anymore. I'm speaking blessings into pass. I am cutting through the poison, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, and I'm seeing myself move forward. This is the fastest moving knight. Now we're represented by the second fastest moving knight. And because of this, we're used to the speed. We like it. It's going to be a little bit more intense than we're used to, but it's also going to be accelerating us forward. It's going to be us rising to awaken the part inside us or awaken the person inside us that has been dormant for too long. That person that we could have lost along the way, that person that we could have, never knew existed within us, but has been dying to come out. And now we're seeing our voice move us forward. Now we're seeing our power really guide us. The Knight of Swords can also be very impetuous, very much a goer and a doer, and not a thinker. So we have to balance this energy, because we're going to have this sense of, I just need to move, I just need to go, no matter what. As long as I'm moving, as long as I'm doing something, it's going to be better than nothing. And that's not always the case. So just making sure that as we charge forward, we're being very mindful of what we're running towards and not only what we're running from. It moves us to the Queen of Wands, which is us in the Minor Arcana. We are looking at a new dawn and a new day. We are looking at our passion. Something is hidden here that will be coming out. Something is hidden that we will be seeing, that we will be gaining an understanding of. But there is really a sense here of, this is my fire, this is my passion, and this is why I'm on this earth. This is what I want from my life. And we could have vague ideas. We could have an outline that says, okay, this is why I'm here. It could be to be a partner, a parent. It could be to be, creative, or a scientist, or, astoundingly logical. It doesn't matter how we see ourselves. What matters is that we don't pigeonhole ourselves into only one group. We say, this is how I see me, and this is how I'm progressing forward towards my dreams. But Spirit, take me along for the ride. Let me see more about myself. Let me step into more of me and more of what I want. Bring my blessings forward, because we're going to be very surprised. It can be that we will think, oh, okay, yeah, that totally aligns with what I'm going after. But only when we look back at it, when we're in it, it's going to feel like the gifts that are coming forward are out of alignment with where we want it to be, with the master plan that we had for ourselves. This is a master plan that divinity has for us. So look at it with new eyes, with new openness. Don't pigeonhole yourself, because it will be so easy to just overlook blessings that come our way because it's not how we thought we were supposed to progress forward. It moves us to the Emperor. This is fire. This is determination. We're claiming a throne. We know our hearts. We know what it is that we want. We're astoundingly determined to go after where it is that we want to be within our world. There is no holding back. There is not a sense of, well, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. There's this firm sense of, I need to progress forward. I need to go after what I want. I need to see who I am. And this solidifies us in our own fire. This solidifies us in our own determination. Can it absolutely take over? Yes. Yes, it can. So we have to be mindful of this. We have to be mindful of this energy taking over. We have to be mindful of ourselves becoming so focused on just one thing, or so focused on rising to the top, that we forget everything else. Because this fire is going to lead us to being a warrior for our heart, protecting what we love, protecting what we desire in life, not falling into the traps of everybody's nonsense, everybody's chaos, everybody's words and different ways of saying and seeing the exact same thing. And so we cloak ourselves in our heart chakra. This is a time when we honor our hearts, we connect with our hearts, and we connect with our passion. It leads us to taking our knowledge, taking our understanding, and being guarded by our angels as we move forward, as we go after what we want, as the fog starts to part, but it's only parting when we're right in the middle of it. So we're not going to be seeing things as clearly as we want to. This is going to also be a time where there's a little bit of a murky connection between the mind and the heart, where we're thinking about certain things and we're feeling certain things. We can't really get them to line up together. We're going to feel frustrated with that, because what we want right now is divinity and certainty as we move forward. And what we're going to have to come to terms with is that nothing is ever definitive. Nothing is ever certain. There's always 1,000 different variables to come into the equation here. And we need to relax, center ourselves, and know that Spirit is guiding us forward. Know that our angels are guiding us towards something greater. And as we are centering into that, we step into the Queen of Pentacles. This is prosperity and success and growth and abundance. This is a sense of, my bounty gets to be a part of me. I get to embrace what I want within my life and where it is that I want to be. The Queen of Pentacles is wealth. And we are going to be astoundingly wealthy during this time. Even if it doesn't mean financially wealthy, there is wealth, or something we value as much as money, coming into our lives. And there's a sense of people looking at us and seeing us as a success. Even if we heard them define us as that, and we'd laugh and be like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? There's so much to do. There's so far to go. There's so much left unseen, but there's a power to us that we will be radiating. And this is a time to grow what we desire within our lives, within our way of moving forward, to really look at where we want to be and move us forward in that power, in that certainty, in that distinction of self. And it moves us to the Five of Pentacles. It's like as this confidence comes in, we are then hit with this shaking, with these shaking legs, with this sense of, I can't. Now, this could be a trauma that has happened. This could be a loss of a job. This could be, bad financial history. This could be a lot of things that come forward that make us doubt that we can be successful, that we can be prosperous, that we can move to success like we want to. And the Five of Pentacles comes in, and what it does is it says, don't you remember that you're supposed to be poor? Don't you remember that you're supposed to be beaten down? And this is where we have to say to it, no. And we have to scream it at it and say, no, I'm not going down that road again. I'm not falling into that trap. I'm worth so much that you can't even quantify it. There is worth in my life and there is power in me. And so I get to move forward. And this just comes in and says, don't you remember? Don't you remember the arguments about money? Don't you remember the times where the electric bill was almost turned off? Don't you remember when buying a $1 hamburger was too much money? Don't you remember? And this is a time where we do remember. And this can make us more generous of spirit to others. But we cannot fall back into that trap because it's going to try and take us down. And we just have to be aware of it. We have to be aware of it and choose the Queen of Pentacles. Choose the wealth. Choose the prosperity. Choose the dignity of self. The sense of I am worth it. I am a queen and I am worth it. And if we have to say that to ourselves, I am a queen and I am worth wealth. I am worth money. I am worth prosperity. I am worth success. I am worth respect. Then we have to say it to ourselves. We have to remind ourselves. Because there's power here. We just have to utilize it. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the King of Pentacles. Is maybe going to the other extreme of thinking everything is about money. Everything is about wealth and worth, and aligning ourselves with people who see the world that way. We have to be very careful of this because we can become so focused on whatever our goal is during this time, that it becomes immersive, that it becomes completely everything that we are and everything that we will ever be. And what Spirit is saying here is be mindful. Be mindful because not everything that is success, not everything that is prosperous has a $sign value to it. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is truth. And this is the throat chakra. It's embracing our truth. It's balancing ourselves. It's balancing our words. It's saying, this is the truth that I need to live by. This is the fire that guides my soul. This is why I'm here. And as we embrace this truth, we embrace ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, which is the Fool. We're going to have to be brave enough to be foolish. Because remember, every single hero, every single entrepreneur, every single person who thinks outside the box is a fool first. And here with the Fool, what we're looking at is the path that we need to walk down. The path that we need to embrace in our lives and for ourselves. The sense of, you may laugh, but this is me. And it doesn't matter if everybody understands. It doesn't matter if everybody sees. What matters is that we're walking the path for ourselves and for our bounty. We will be foolish and people will laugh. That's fine. We will make mistakes and we will fall. Because to fly, you have to fall. You just do. But we are going to soar to unbelievable heights. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, and that's justice, Libra energy. This is also a sense of being just to ourselves. This is a need to be just to ourselves. It's a need to be discerning. We can get so caught up in like the letter of the law, black and white, white page, black print, justice, that we forget the humanity of it all. We need to be aware. We need to be aware of the hearts. We also need to be discerning for ourselves. To say, you know what, this energy is right for me, but this one isn't. I need to move forward this way, but it's okay for me to say no to this. And as we are more discerning, we are more just to the being that we are and the way that we are creating ourselves forward. Our subconscious emotional self is the Knight of Pentacles, slowly and steadily moving towards our goals, moving towards what we desire. We're firmly grounded here on this earth, but we're also very much looking at the bigger picture, but also as we're looking at the bigger picture, we're looking at the moment we're standing in right now. and saying, how do I make this count? It moves us to our subconscious public self, and it's the Lovers. It's Gemini energy. It is a sense of, I get to fall back in love with my life. I get to fall in love with my life, my passion, my desire, the way that I want to move forward. This is me. This is the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine aspects of myself moving forward in love, in beauty, in connection, knowing that there is so much more here than ever meets the eye. We're not falling in love with what we want to see. We're falling in love with who we are. And that is scars and warts and all, so that we love ourselves and are empowered by the beauty of our being. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and energy of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.